We all have dreams, visions of a better, more fulfilling and purpose-driven life. But too often we let excuses stand in the way of making those dreams a reality. Excuses are comfortable. They protect us from discomfort, uncertainty, and failure. But they also keep us stuck, preventing us from stepping into the extraordinary life we were meant to live. If God gave you the vision, then He has already prepared the way. But most of us never see it because we are too busy doubting the calling instead of walking in it. God doesn't hand out unfinished assignments. You need to move far enough to see it. The only thing we genuinely lack is belief. Belief in our abilities and belief that we are worthy of what we truly desire. Fear tells you to wait until all the dots align. But faith says start where you are with what you have and let God multiply it. The provision and resources are there, but they only show up for the person bold enough to start. So let that be you and start. Start today. Start now. These are 10 common excuses that we tell ourselves when fear is louder than our faith. I don't have enough time. Oh my goodness. This excuse I've heard 1,000,001 times. And I even used to say it myself because I'm a professional, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a wife and I'm a mom. So trust me, I don't have enough time was literally my go-to excuse for every single thing. Like, how do I expect to have extra time? I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm taking kids to school, I'm doing homework, I'm doing my job, I'm trying to coordinate with my team. Like, I have a gazillion things to do. So I never had time. But what I realized that in as much as I didn't have time, like I said in the previous video, your excuses are valid, but they're still keeping you stuck, right? So, and as much as I didn't have time, I realized I was stuck because my goals were still the same goals. I was moving on from year to year because I was not doing anything about them, all in the name of I don't have time. So what did I do? I sat down and I looked at how I was doing my time, and that's called a time audit. I sat down and I said from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. How do I spend my time? How much time do I spend with quiet time, praying, reading my Bible? How much time do I spend with the kids, getting them ready for school, dropping them off, picking them up? How much time do I spend on my job? How much time do I spend coordinating with my team? Because my majority of my team is in Ghana. How much time do I spend with them? How much time do I spend on social media, just scrolling endlessly? Yes, I'm a content creator, so I like to get inspiration from social media. But you know that you want to take a 15-minute break on social media and ends up becoming a 2-hour scroll, right? I had to sit down and actually think of ways to maximize my time so that I could get pockets of time to actually work on the goals that I had set. So one of the things that I did mine as a time audit was to prioritize. There were certain things that I realized I could easily delegate, certain things that I didn't even need to do anyhow. So obviously I crossed those out. And the ones that I had to do myself, I restructured it in pockets of time. So let's say I've dropped off the kids from work. Before I log into my computer, I have maybe 30 minutes to work on something, or an hour. I gave myself pockets of time to work on things that I knew were important to me and that were going to drive me closer to my goals. So that's excuse, I don't have enough time. It can be valid, yes, but you need to work around it. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in a life of ordinary and mediocrity forever. The next common excuse is I'm not ready yet. Oh child, you're never really ready for a life of greatness. You're never really ready to achieve your goals because that's the essence of it being a goal. So most goals are supposed to stretch you. Your goals are supposed to make you expand. They're supposed to broaden your horizon, expand your mindset and your mentality. So most of the time you will not be ready for your goal. If you're ready for your goals, it's because your goals are probably too small and they are not goals that are going to stretch you enough anyhow. So just get that in your mind that you'll never be ready and just do it anyway. The next one is I don't have enough money. And I know that's a big reason, sometimes actually a reason not more than an excuse, because sometimes you're being very resourceful but you're not making money. But I think most of us don't lack resources, we lack resourcefulness. Because sometimes you can just start with creativity. Sometimes you can just start with what you have, right? Like let's say you want to create content, you're thinking of getting a very luxurious aesthetic home, but just start with what you have, with your kitchen, with your living room, with your beat up chairs, whatever it is, just start there. And once you start, you build the momentum. God and the universe have a way of just opening doors that will blow your mind. So you don't have money can be an excuse, but just find a way to go around it. Is it that you're going to borrow money from friends? Do you have a skill that you can monetize? Let's say you can braid hair, you can sew, you can make cookies to sell, whatever it is. Just find creative ways to come up with the money to start. And once you start, so many doors will open for you. I'm too old or I'm too young. Oh my goodness. Age is a convenient excuse that we use at both ends of the spectrum. If you're young, you tell yourself you lack experience. If you're older, you convince yourself it's too late to start over. The truth, neither is true. You are never too young or too old to start anything. You are just the right age. Colonel Sanders started KFC at 70. And then there are people who have built multi-billion-dollar companies and made impact around the world at 17. You are never too old or too young to start. So that should not be an excuse. What if I fail? Oh my goodness. Fear of failure. So I want you to read this. Fear of failure is one of the strongest forces that keep us stuck. But failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Every setback is a lesson. Every mistake is a stepping stone. When we are young, we don't always notice the signs in ourselves. We often think our fear of taking action is just normal nervousness from being new to something. But the reluctance stays. The days become weeks, weeks become months, months become years, and the decades go by. And we suddenly wake up one day in dismay to find that what was once a charming, vibrant, youthful exuberance in us is now something quite different, sickly and repellent. Or we find a convenient domestic responsibility to blame for never getting back to build our dream lives, to put in the work we know we need. And that is one of the things that I realized I was suffering from. So I was always using my domestic responsibilities as an excuse. Like I said, the kids, the husband, the chores, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're doing laundry, you're doing home, you're doing 1,000,001 things. So it makes it difficult for you to actually have the time. And then we just convince ourselves that because we don't have enough time to dedicate to the thing, is doomed to fail. But what if we change that mindset and find pockets of times where we can work towards our goals and just keep pushing on until it succeeds? And that is the thing. It's like I said the word until, because it's a process. It won't happen overnight. You won't start a business today and let it become a multi-billion-dollar company tomorrow. Even look at Amazon. He started in a small space selling books, and look at it today. He didn't start off becoming a billionaire. And that's how I think that's one of the things our society lacks, the mindset of longevity, the mindset of viewing it as a journey as opposed to a destination, thinking that I start a business today, in 6 months I should be a millionaire. It doesn't always work like that. So think about it for the long term. Until is a word that should always be in your vocabulary, because you're not quitting after 6 months or after 8 months or after 10 months. You're doing it until you get the results that you want. The next one is I don't know how. And honestly, today, I don't think that's a valid excuse anymore, because there's YouTube University. You can literally learn any single thing on YouTube, from how to cook to how to clean to how to sew, do makeup, hair, dance, everything's on YouTube. So saying you don't know how is not a valid excuse anymore. The next one is I don't have the right connections. As an African immigrant, that's one of the excuses I hear a lot. And like I said, I have a foundation, the Nzuri High Foundation, and actually a percentage of all proceeds from the sales of this book goes to that foundation. And we have an annual youth empowerment summit. It's called Rise Up. And we did one in Bosomche this past August. And one of the things that kept coming up was, I don't have the right connections. My family is not a wealthy family. My family is not known. My family is not... I said, no. You don't need, yes, having the right connections helps. It makes things easier. But you can definitely be very successful if you don't know anyone. You cannot have the right connections. And right now, social media has made it so much easier to connect with people that you don't even know virtually. Just send a DM, just send an email, just send a LinkedIn message. There are so many ways to go around that. You don't know anyone. You don't need to know the whole world, and you don't need to know a lot of people. You just have to be resourceful enough to reach out to the people that you think would help in creating the life that you want to create. It's not the right time. I don't know when it's ever the right time to do anything. There's never the right time to do anything. And that's a mindset that we have to have. That no matter what it is, there will always be an inconvenient time to do something. You just have to start. If you're going to wait for all the stars to align or all the lines to turn green, then I'm sorry, you never wait. You never start. You keep waiting and waiting and waiting until one day you find yourself that you're too old to do anything anyhow. So just start where you are with what you have, regardless of the time. People will judge me. I spoke about that in the previous video, so you can go and listen to what I said about that. And lastly, I've already tried and it didn't work. And there's a thing about our brains, right? When we do something and it doesn't work out, the fear paralyzes us most of the time, because we keep reliving the incidents or the scenarios over and over and over again, that is entrenched in our minds, so anytime we even try to start it, we just replay what happened previously, and then we just give up, right? But then I want you to reframe past failures as feedback. Instead of saying I tried and didn't work, ask, what can I do differently this time? Every setback contains valuable lessons. The most successful people are not the ones who never fail, but the ones who refuse to give up no matter how many times they fail. If you speak to any successful person, they'll tell you that one of the most common things they've ever been through is failure. You will fail your way to success. It's inevitable. You cannot just start today and expect to get everything right. So that's a mindset you have to change. You will fail your way to success. You will try and try and try, and most of the time will not work out. But as you're trying and it's not working out, you're gaining experience. You're gaining valuable lessons. Every failure, quote unquote failure, is feedback. It's experience. It's how to navigate better next time. So those are the 10 common excuses. I want you to sit down and think through, which ones do you say a lot, and which ones have you justified? Because when you justify your excuses, you get to keep them, and they keep getting you stuck. So I want you to get unstuck this week, and then sit down and look at the excuses that you have and create strategies to overcome those excuses. If it's mental, if it's physical, if it's financial, if it's societal, environmental, whatever it is, find strategies, resources, people that you can harness to get out of those situations. That's all for today. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you. Bye, guys.